I just hit play. Yeah. I don't have to. Okay. Nice to see you, Gabriella.
You too.
So today we're here to talk about one of CCNM's favorite topics, stress.
Yes.
Like we haven't had enough of it already. So right now, where are you at with your stress levels? How are you coping with it? What's going on right now?
Yeah. I feel okay. I hate the feeling of stress, and I didn't really realize it until I got here. Like how much I had structured my life around not having those feelings. Just in terms of like, I mean, I guess it's lifestyle stuff, right? Like getting enough sleep, having meals at regular times, being outdoors, moving my body, like all of those things are very much like in place in my day-to-day life in a way that over time just evolved to be very optimal for me. And then I get here and a lot of those things like go out the window because they have to. So I think every day really are this like micro adjustments of like how can I reestablish that, because I know what that feels like and that feels good and that's how I want to feel. And just kind of like a good amount of frustration at not being able to have both really, right? Like I wish I didn't have to sleep. I wish that like we had twice as much time to learn stuff, because I know that I could do better. I know that I could learn better and process, and you know, if I weren't so like anxious about it. But that's not the way it is. So I think where I am like literally today, as in like what it's been going through my head, is that I can't change time. Like that sounds so obvious, but like it's been a big sort of moment for me to be like, look, there are only 24 hours in every day, and this program ends on December whatever, you know, this semester, and all I can do in a day is what I can do, like obviously, and I have to like be okay with that. So it's a lot of like in my own head telling myself how
it's
to
just
think,
getting
how
used
not
to it.
but
It's getting accustomed, and I feel like there's not enough time to figure it out almost.
yeah.
So every day you just kind of like, do you feel like you're just winging it?
Yeah, right. So it's almost like I would much prefer to like lay it all out and just like follow a regular rhythm, regular plan, and not have to like reassess, like what you're saying, every day. but it's always changing, and the demands are changing every day, and I still don't know what I'm doing, you know, in terms of like being like optimizing all that. So yeah, like a lot of time goes to trying to reassess and replan, and I hate that bothers me too, because it's like not where my energy needs to be going.
How do you set up your days? What do you normally do? Do you have a set like schedule, a set plan, or is it just
Yeah, no, I do generally, yeah.
like eating, like making food, or you in a routine now, you feel like?
Yeah. Something new that I started doing right after midterms, I get up at like 5 a.m. and I go to bed at like 8:30. Like it's ridiculous, and I've never done that before in my life, but it's like it has reduced my anxiety levels a lot, because I can do the majority of my hard work before I even go to class, you know, like, and I can make class time more useful, you know, if I'm actually like preparing my notes for the class before I go to it, then I'm getting more out of it. So that's been huge, and yeah, really great. I'm also just like, my mental health in the evenings is not there. Like I just get super negative and pessimistic and angry. Like after like 7 p.m. I'm like done. So
really?
Yeah, but mornings I'm great. Like
so it's like the opposite.
The opposite of you.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It is, and it might have something to do with like coffee, because I mean, like I don't have that much coffee, but the one coffee I do have in the morning, it totally like changes my mood. And
my mother says that. She's like,
really?
she's like, the only thing that gets me out of bed is coffee.
Yeah.
I absolutely need it to get out of bed.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you need something? Do you take any supplements, or do you take anything to? Well, just the stuff that they gave us, like at the beginning of the whatever, those free stuff. I mean, there's like the Calm Pro or whatever. I don't know. I take that because it's there, but I don't notice it. Or yeah. No, but otherwise, I mean, like this tea that I drink all the time, this like licorice tea, I feel like is also like another weird like
And so I don't even think that it's like necessarily the herbal properties. It's like having something warm and sweet. That I don't know. It's like so those kind of just like strange daily things.
Just a little like I feel like in this program, everyone needs a support.
Yeah.
You know, some sort of support group. Do you feel like you're getting? Do you feel like you need more of a support system behind you, or do you feel like you're getting that, or are you working toward that?
No, that's a great question. I tend to be very like I don't really, well, I guess just individual. Like I don't lean hard on people. So like my partner's in Jersey and he's living his life, and more than like. It's not even that I necessarily want his support more, it's that I want him to leave me alone, like, which is probably not helpful. But, so it's more like, I don't know, I get kind of like isolate myself so that I can focus, or like I don't like feeling distracted by other people. And there are other people in my life that I feel obligated to in a good way to like be in regular communication with. And I'm really grateful for that like big picture, like you're saying, because it is important to be connected and be supported, but most of the time I'm more feeling like I wish that I didn't have to talk to you right now because I don't have time to.
That's hard. That's a hard balance. It's a slippery slope.
It is, yeah. And I know that if I had it my way, I would be very unhappy. I mean, I know that actually being isolated is really not the way to go. So some of my like recurrent thoughts too are like, why am I so introverted? Why am I so like, why do I do this to myself? You know, kind of a thing. And so I don't have like a great answer or a great balance for that. I guess I'm generally trying to like be grateful for people in my life and like allow myself to be more social here. I mean, it's interesting for me that there are always people around. Like I haven't lived like that ever. Like I've always lived alone. I've always like, so the fact that everywhere you go, there's like people.
You go to the bathroom here and
oh yeah,
no. Wake up early in the morning at like 6 and you come and be like, hey, how you doing? Like,
so that was like an adjustment, and I'm trying to kind of embrace it more, or just like go with it, go with the flow a little bit more, like be more grateful for that, because it is nice that we're all in the same boat and that we, you know, all in that way can at least subtly support each other, you know.
Israelite company.
It's
but when you have ups, we all have ups together and we all have downs, downs together. So maybe, you know, like you said, being isolated, you know, kind of, it forces you out of that, which is probably a saving grace. To a certain degree.
There are a lot of times that I have, even just in the last like 8 weeks or whatever, been really grateful that I am okay. Like in terms of preparing for midterms, like I literally shut myself in my room like 24/7, and that's what I had to do to like be okay, you know. And there's a lot of people, who and I get that sucks. I mean, it sucks, but you know, but I can do that, and I'm glad for that, at least in the context of like the intensity of this program. So just knowing like when that's appropriate and when it's not, and not like resenting other people for taking my time. I mean, that sounds like awful of me, but that's like often how I feel, and I don't want to feel that way.
How does your partner feel about? Does he understand the stress? I mean, I gotta assume he knows you probably pretty well, or is there a society that he hasn't seen?
No, I think he does see me generally as sort of an anxious person. So, I mean, this is definitely heightened, but it's not new for him. And he's incredibly understanding and supportive, and you know, half the time when I'm like, look, I can't keep talking to you, like he's not, we're very independent and not like needy of each other in that way, and so I appreciate that. And he also just has like a personal interest in all this stuff too, which helps. Like it's nice to be able to, he's actually the one who like found the field of naturopathy and like was like, you should hear me do this. So
cool.
It's cool.
Be careful what you wish for.
I know, right?
Your girl might go.
Exactly.
Thank you for that advice.
I know.
I'll see you in 4 years.
And you can support me while I'm doing it.
And keep working, because I don't have any money.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Exactly. So that is funny. And there are a lot of times when I express guilt for that, for being like, I feel like I'm not with you, I hate the, like, I don't want to be supported, I want to support myself, you know, but it's just not possible. So I'm grateful for it and feel guilty for it, and I'm able to express it, and he's always very, just handles it really well, is really understanding, and, you know, usually, like, eases that out of me, and he's also very, like, adamant that we talk every day, whereas I probably wouldn't, and, you know, he wants to make sure we see each other once a month, so I'm glad that he's the one doing that, because I wouldn't.
You don't have time.
No, I don't,
Just, like, literally don't have time.
Yeah.
Alright, so one of my favorite questions, and I ask this to myself all the time, in a perfect world, what would transpire for you for the next year, 4 years? So just so this year, how would this year wrap up, and how would the next 3 years go? Doesn't have to be in detail. It could just be.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, that's a great question.
like if you're about to fall asleep at night and it's just like the happiest thought that runs through your brain. What does that kind of look like?
If I could, like, I mean, if the workload were somehow less, or if I were somehow more competent, like more efficient, I want to become more efficient, I suppose, and that's, like, if I can do the same amount of work in less time, or do less work and still be fine. If I could get to the end of every day, the end of every week, the end of every month, and feel just like the littlest bit of space, just a little, I don't need a lot, just like a little bit, instead of always catching up or being late or maybe not figuring, you know, that would make me so happy. Like, honestly, I feel like that's all I ever want, is like, I don't know, I have goals, like, I'm very, whatever, purpose driven, like, all that. Like, it's not that I need to, like, chill or do nothing or, like, go to fucking Las Vegas. Like, I don't really care about stuff like that. Like, I want to work hard and I want to do something in life, but I don't want to kill myself for it. Like, I just don't see how, it seems counterproductive to me. So if at the end of this term, at the end of this year, like, I could figure out that rhythm, or if things could lighten somehow to make that just a little bit more doable, then I feel like I could do this forever, to be honest. I love learning. I love, like, it's amazing to not have to work.
I know.
You know, like, after years of, I mean, I similarly, like, gig-based type stuff, we're always looking for the next thing, always putting yourself out there, like,
one thing ends, and you gotta start a new one, find something else, It's like a constant, it's a grind.
It's a total grind.
Constant grind.
And not having to juggle, like, 5 different jobs at the same, like, this kind of thing, being focused on just one big thing that's toward, like, a long-term goal is actually,
It means to an end.
yeah, and kind of a dream come true, like, after living that other kind of a life. So it's not that I want to change this so much, I just needed to not, I've been surprised at how, like, quickly affected I am by the littlest bit of, like, feeling incompetent or feeling just, like, not, because I think before now I've thought I'm a pretty relaxed person, like, stuff doesn't get to me, pretty even, and so it's been interesting that, like, stuff gets fucking spiked, you know, and, like, I hate that. So I don't want to feel that way, and I don't really even know, like, what the end is, like you're saying, means to end, like, in 4 years. I don't have, like, a super clear picture of, like, how I'm going to be using this, what I'm going to be doing.
The modalities and what you're going to exactly, what you're going to fit into the whole scope of this.
I'm not sure. I do feel, though, the little bit that we've done so far, like, the physical medicine, like, the functional anatomy stuff, I feel like I have a particular affinity for it, maybe just having a dance background or whatever, just, like, being physically present with people and their physical bodies, like, is interesting to me. And so maybe that, I don't know, but I don't want to, like, hone in soon because there's so much stuff to learn, and even the little bit that we have in other modalities, I feel like we've barely scratched the surface, so I feel like I can't really determine that for myself now. I also live in a state that's not licensed, so, like, I don't really know how that's gonna go. And
Jersey.
And it's close enough to, like, Pennsylvania, which is, and there's a lot of people practicing in New York, even though it's not. So I'm not worried about that necessarily. I think there's actually a lot of perks to practicing in a non-licensed state in terms of, like, freedom, but there is no template. Like, there's very few NDs in Jersey, so I feel like I really don't have a picture of, like, what it could look like. And I'm cool with that. Like, I'm really happy to stay open-ended for a while, because I don't know, I just feel like there's no rush to, like, keep to do the same thing forever, you know.
What you said was interesting. Is that like it sounds like you said I just want like a little bit of space, just a little bit of breathing room, and I think that comes down to like just want a little bit of peace. Like just give me a little bit of peace because we always feel like we're running here. And I know what you said about like learning. It's really nice when you sit down and you learn something new and you grasp it, like that feeling that you get. You know what I mean? Like that feeling. You know, it's like probably like when I play sports, like scoring a goal when you're dancing and you're on point. Or I don't know much about dancing, but you know something that's hard and intricate and you really nail it. You do it. But here, it's like you're always kind of there's so much being thrown at you that unless you have a background in something to grasp something and hold on to it, it's kind of hard. Do you get like have you found that you found moments here where you are grasping onto things? I know it's kind of few and far between. But
it is, but no, and actually I think you're right to point that out, that like I think my lack of space is mostly because I don't have anything holding me. I have no background, so there's so much extra time trying to fill in those gaps and teach myself, and like whereas I don't know, like if I were Mike who knows everything, like that would be amazing, and I would have a lot more space in my life, you know. So but I do feel like when I sit down and really put my mind to something, I do feel like rewarded in the sense that it's nice. It feels good to learn things when you actually have the time to, and when you actually can. So
if it was an 8-year program, we'd be on.
I mean, seriously, like
Golden Street.
I would, seriously, that would be amazing. So I do hope that like as things go on, you know, those gaps get filled in, and like I don't have to work as hard for the same amount of material, you know, like in next semester, next year, whatever. Because I don't feel that this is sustainable. Like I don't think I can do this. Like
I think
for the next 4 years, you know.
I think that we'll all find our pace.
Yeah. I think we have to. Otherwise, we're not gonna be here. I think so. Yeah.
Well, that was awesome.
Cool. Thank you.
Stress. A little bit's gone.
It's
Just
true,
a little.
actually.